As you can see, we're going to be starting with our YouTube page. Opening the game with first touch. This is number one. We're going to be giving example from our Steelheads pro player Hector, and some of our Gala pro players, Shamli and Rafa is there as well, and we'll be giving some example from that. If you're ready, everybody give me a thumbs up. Alright guys, so the first rule is about where Hector is standing is where the defender is going to be facing me. Of course, I just wanted to make it realistic about where the player is. This first touch is very important for center backs and center mids to be able to open the game instead of going to the same side. You just need to make it a habit and to be able to use both feet. I'm gonna up the volume. I apologize for that, I didn't realize. Okay, let's see. Volume here. We're gonna be starting now. Like I said, this is really important for you guys to understand that switching feet is very important because it opens up the space for the player, and your vision as a center mid, as a center back, goes a lot wider, a lot bigger.
To open the game, because the chest side, we're going to the left side, means opposite foot. Need to touch the ball, go ahead. Left foot, pass the ball here quickly. Good to me. Right here a little bit, and touch it between, and pass. Right here, and touch away, and pass. And again, you need that pass between the two cones. Alright, go ahead. And you see the area, ball comes, touch it, and pass open space. You understand? Always see that protection away from it.
Alright guys, now I'm going to show you the players doing this right here, and in here we try to challenge them to do it quicker. There's a couple stages of this. You can start doing it two touch with the guy who passes the ball, but then later you can try to do one touch so it can be a little quicker. And this is Hector from our Steelheads team and Rafa working on their first touch. He opens the game. Nice left foot turn, left foot touch, and right foot touch.
4.
We're counting.
5.
Touch to open space.
6.
Touch to open space.
7.
Touch to open space.
8.
Left foot touch. Very good.
9. Very good. And 10. Let's stop. Good.
Alright, now I want you guys to understand this now. It's very important that you keep your foot on the ground when you're passing, like touching the ball to open space. You need to open your shoulders. You can see in here, let's see, when he comes, right there, he opens his body. Look, the ball is, if you can see the mouse, the ball is coming from there. The pressure is going to be coming from there. And he's touching the ball from his far foot. What is that doing? He's opening his body, so his right foot and right arm becomes the cover. I would still recommend to this player to keep his arm on the player to be able to block. Okay, opposite foot touches. Okay. Look, his toe is up and heel on the ground low. That's a good touch to go in. I will keep my heel even lower here and open your shoulder to open space. Because his foot was on air a little bit, and he didn't open his shoulders towards us at that point, the ball moved too far forward. Watch this. See, his body is not opened like last time, so that ball is going to be moving towards the pressure, which is not good. That's a better touch. Do you see that? He let it go behind him, so the pressure is coming from this angle, and right away he goes to the opposite side. It's a good setup. It's a good pass. Touches. Let's see how he's gonna do. That's a good touch. Alright, so like I said, it's important. So how you can do this session is very simple. One cone here, the passer. Like there is about 6 cones in here. You can you're visualizing the player here and then his small rich area, and 2 outside cones, and you're gonna be doing it exercise. You can do it with your parent. You can do it with you know, one of your teammates if you guys meet each other, brother, sister, whatever you guys got, and you guys can use this for 2 people. This is really important touches for all over the field. Very good. Any questions about this? Very simple. I would like you guys to kind of draw it in a paper so you guys can understand how to do this. This looks like an easy drill, but it's not. So every time the ball comes from this way, left side, you got to touch it with your right foot to open space. Every time the ball comes from here, you're going to touch it with your left foot to open the game. So it's critical that you guys actually understand how to do this drill right. Watch his touches. Again, he needs to switch feet, and left foot here and right foot. No, that's too far forward from the pressure. That's a good touch. Ball is coming, pressure is coming. What does he do? Yep, that's a good touch. He's keeping his heel on the ground. He's making him better first touches, as well as Rafa's touches are great there. Look at that, Rafa's. I want you guys to see that touch right there. When Rafa is getting the ball, his heel on the ground, hitting the ground, 1 touch pass. It's a perfect Beckenbauer style. Look at that. Yes, very good for keepers as well. Good point, Regis. Very good for keepers, this drill. Any questions, guys? This one, Regis, is a small drill. I actually learned that one of my sessions from the Greek national team goalie was teaching the goalies. This is a simple one drill, but it's pretty tough for a lot of keepers. After making a save, the second save, make sure that you bring your upper body, you know, and the whole body up after making a save on the ground. This could be a good drill for you guys.
You're coming from the side, right? Don't hold it. Jump! Jump! Nice! Very.
And after a while, you guys can do this session with keepers a little bit higher, so they need to really bring their upper body forward. Again, let's watch it from here. Makes a save to the side, good diving to the side. It has to be. He needs to get up fast and make a second save. Good question comes in. What is the difference between? So the middle is 6 cones, so you don't have to worry about the distance there, right? The middle cones, 6 cones. So outside of those, you put about 4 yards from each other, and the passer is about 7-8 yards away. Okay, Joat? It's a great drill. Great session.
Second save.
That's exactly right.
Drop! Drop!
See that second one wasn't that great, right? Because he's trying to jump from his back, his butt, like, and it's gonna be pretty hard jump to do if you do it like that. Okay. Any questions about this for goalies, goalkeepers? Any questions about this one? All right. Just going back to that passing technique, Rafa was doing so well. Remember that right here. Open the game one. Rafa's right here, first touch. I always tell you guys, if you hit your heel to the ground, the 2 cleats on the ground and toe up, it's a perfect pass. Look at that. Look at that. Rafa's great example there, Beckenbauer style. Again, hit your heel to the ground, perfect pass, and he did the same thing in here. Look at that. So what you can do you can exercise this as a shot or a pass. You can actually exercise this for like shooting, so you don't get bored just passing the ball. So what you can do is somebody can pass the ball, you can use a keeper or a target, and somebody can pass the ball on the ground to you, and you can hit the ball as a pass or as a shot. And here we're trying to score a goal between the cones to the keeper. Hit your heel. Look at that. That's good. Look at that. Okay. His heel is on the ground.
Technique good. This is the easiest shot, guys, tonight.
Good technique again. This is my favorite. Shamli's one is my favorite right here. Look at that. Open shoulder. I love that one because his shoulder is leading. Look at the shot, the toe. And we've been talking about that with Shamli. He had a hard time with this one before. So I'm so excited about seeing him doing this perfectly. Beautiful. Beautiful. He led it. He lead it to the target. So this is a good exercise for you guys. If you have a wall, somebody can pass the ball to you, or if you're going to be alone, you can pass to yourself, hitting your heel to the ground. It could be a good shot. By the way, a lot of players in history, they took their penalty shots with this technique. So it's a very consistent technique to work on. Okay, and now we're going to be working on some moves to beat players, and we're going to be starting with Iniesta. I'm going to explain the session here. What we did last week, if you remember, we did the zigzag cones for the Messi movement. And we're going to do the same movement. About 8 cones zigzag from each other. How far? The goal, like, I'll say 8 to 10 yards. You know, but have a target. Trying to hit a target. You can even put a cone, one of those tall cones, to try to put it down. You can put a bottle and try to hit that one time and try to put that down. Good question, Nate. All right. So in here, about 8 yards from each other again, zigzag. 1 cone there, 1 cone here, 1 cone there, 1 cone here, okay?
And right around here, I'm going to step my left foot so far forward, like I'm going to run that way.
This is a great move. You can use this going forward, and you can use this to change direction when the player behind you. So you can do it going forward or when the player behind you. So I'm going to explain this to you guys more in here. I'm going to turn up the volume a little bit. The sound is so low. I apologize for that. I'm glad I'm speaking too right now. All right. So please pay attention to this. All right. Let's see.
I'm covering the ball. See, this is what I'm going to step my left foot so far forward, like I'm going to run that way, and touch the foot to the side. I'm covering the ball. See, this is what Jawad does.
Jawad, I'm talking about you. I apologize. I saw your video. I was telling them about you doing a lot of the moves right, but this one you're struggling with. So I show here there is no step with your move. The cut is perfect, but there is no step to fake the player.
I have no balance. He runs forward, he takes the ball from me. And I'm not faking him, so he's never going to run that way. He's going to stand where he is. You understand? So you need to make sure you sell the move. You act like you're going to run that way, so now he moves this way a little bit, right? You move this way a little bit, and then you come back and beat the serve. You go here, this time you're going to step your right foot.
Opposite foot this time. And change the other way. Do you see how far I'm stepping?
When you get to here, left foot, step long.
So in a bit, we're going to be working on something, and we're going to be talking about something called the shield and the sword. Like the shield, the weapon, and the shield, right? So what you do with that is one part of your body, one leg, one arm is the protector, the shield. And the other one that is, you know, dribbling the ball or touching the ball is your weapon, okay? So that mentality you need to understand. So you need to make sure your covering foot is far from the foot that is touching the ball. So that means you're going to keep the ball away from the pressure.
Touch it up. Leave this to God. Understood? You sure?
Watch this part.
But, Xiaomi, even for a defender, this is one of the best moves. Because you complete
For defender when the player behind. Watch this.
You, like in defense, you can do it when the player behind you going this way. So, for example, I'm facing my own goal. Right? Yeah, that's my goalie. Nick.
I'm setting a keeper there, like there's a goal there,
You're giving pressure to me, right? Go ahead.
and he's pressuring him. And look at that.
Simple, right?
Look at that.
You're giving pressure.
He's going towards his own goal. He acts like he's gonna go that way. It's a great defensive movement too.
Simple, right?
So you can go forward,
You want to go that way?
like right here.
This way a little bit, right? You seldom move. You act like you're gonna run
That way,
so now you move
you
this
step
way,
towards the
right?
player
You move this way a little bit,
and
then you
turn,
come back and beat the player.
or you can do it when the player is coming from behind you. It's such a useful, great move for you guys to do. Any questions about this one? I'm going to be showing that the shield and sword right here, so you guys can understand. Look, we got special papers from these players that they understand that this is not a gala training. This is just me doing a session, and they need to understand that this is not gala, you know, and we're not responsible. They're taking the risk, and we are also, as coaches, you can see some of our coaches are wearing, all of them wearing masks to do this as well. Oh, for sure, Regis. Like if the pressure is too much, it's better to give it to keeper if you need to. But if you're gonna pass the keeper, like I said, my rule: do not ever pass the keeper towards the goal. Pass it away so they can get it like to wide areas outside the post, so they can also have a good clearance area. And don't pass it too hard to the keeper. All right. Yes, Jason, it's a very good example for moving forward as a forward to do this. Center mids need to be doing this when the player is in front of them to open the game as well. It's great movement to open the game. For forwards and defenders, most of the time you can use it when the player is behind you, like that second part. All right, the sword and shield.
So if my covering foot is this close to my touching the ball feet, that means also the player is so close to the ball. Think about it. So if he's defending me, go ahead. If I'm just stepping this much, that means he hasn't access to the ball. But if he's coming to me, if I step like this far, he's not going to be able to get the ball at all. You understand the idea? So, both feet. This is your shield. This is your knife, sword, right? So shield and sword, like you're a Viking. Block and use your weapon, right? Let's go.
All right, now this is for a different move, but I want you guys to kind of combine that with the last section, so you guys can understand what that does. Some of you guys might have seen this one. We're gonna be starting with the behind moves. This is the reverse scissor. A lot of top level players I've seen him do back in the day. Romario, Bebeto, usually Brazilian players. Ronaldinho, like it's about the reverse scissors. Usually it's a little risky, but it looks pretty. You can touch it to the opposite side after the fake and beat the player, or you can try to nutmeg the player. This is like more for nutmeg, but you can actually adjust it to not risk the nutmeg as well. Just pay attention.
So he acts like he's gonna go that way. He acts like he's gonna go that way and between the guys' legs. So because when he does this, steps, the player opens their legs, he steps, okay, right? And between their legs, right?
That's too wide,
So
by the way. I didn't like that
the
one.
ball though first. So he passed the ball to me.
Watch this.
I stepped it, right? He's coming to me. I stepped it. Oh wait, dude.
Did you hear me saying, oh wait, dude? He completely went to my left side and let me just have the whole right side open. Like, you do not want to give him an in, otherwise I'll just pull the ball and go, right? That's why he needed to be behind me, so I won't be able to go so easily. You can hear that little chat. Watch this.
I acted a little attack and go between if he responds to it. So he acts like it. So I acted a little attack and go between.
Yeah, Rafa didn't look so happy after that one. Do you guys understand how it works? It's a reverse scissors, as you can see. So I'm keeping the player away.
I acted a little.
So I'm stepping that way, so the player behind you will most likely to respond, open his leg even more. But even if he doesn't open his legs, obviously, bam, he can go. Any questions about this one? This is number one behind move. We're going to be working on a lot of behind moves today. This is a good for forwards when they pulling the player away. You know, like arms on the player, the defender is pushing him. They're trying to get the ball. You show the ball to one way, and my way of Cruyff. So my way of Cruyff is I show the ball to the player. I used to beat a lot of players with this.
I'm doing it so fast. I'm pushing it this way. Quick.
You push the ball one way.
I'm not going over the ball. I'm getting.
Let him see the ball. That's the key. Let him see the ball, and then you use the same feet to do it. Now, what I say in this video is key. I'm saying I'm not going over the ball. I'm staying, like, I just get in front of the ball. So I'm keeping my foot where you see it right now in the middle of the ball. I'm keeping it there. I'm pushing it, and I'm just getting in front of it. Watch.
Over the ball. I'm getting in front of the ball. So pushing it this way, and
see that response from the player? He sees the ball moving forward. So the defender is going to respond to the ball, and you go into the opposite side. Inside of your foot, pushing it slowly. And when you're pushing it slowly, move your foot, like your heel, to the end of the ball, and then turn your foot opposite way to cut the ball to the other side. You need to be on the ball the whole time to do this one.
pushing it this way,
And changing direction. Very good move to do. Alright?
I'm pushing it this way. Quick.
Push and back. Right? Any questions about that one? This is a really good one for any position, but especially for forwards. Especially before I get my last surgery, I used to do this almost every practice. Still here and there I do it. It's a little bit risky for me now, but this is one of my favorite moves. This is my move. You again, the same idea, right? You show the ball to the player, he gets excited, but you actually gonna be using your other feet to take care of the business. There's gonna be two versions: this fast version, and then the slow mo after that.
The ball comes to me. Right here. I'm gone. Oh my God! Now just comes to me. The ball comes to me.
So now the player is trying to see the ball, right? And I'm gonna show him the ball right here. When he sees it, he's gonna try to respond, but it's hard to respond when the ball is that high, right? And my body is in the way still.
Right here. I'm gone. Oh my God! Now he still has it, man. The ball comes.
Daji still has it, he says. All right. Next one is the same move. Now I want you guys to see it slow motion. So how you do this when the ball is coming to you, you need to, because I'm gonna lift the ball up here. I'm a lefty, so I have a better lift with my left foot. But for you guys, you're gonna turn your foot towards your left with your right foot. Lift the ball up to your left, elbow, right? Elbow height, and then your left foot heel is gonna heel it behind the player up there. For me, I'm a lefty, so I lift it up to my right, and then my right heel goes over the player. But you have to turn your toes towards where you want to lift it. Let the ball roll on your foot. Ball is coming. Sometime today this is really slow motion, but it's good to see the technique. Look, I'm gonna let it land on my foot. I turn it and heel over the player. He's like, oh crap, and it's perfect movement to beat the player. It's completely schooling the guy, and definitely it's a killer of confidence to a defender. So what do we do? All right, any questions? Let me see if there's any questions about these. That was number 3 behind move, guys. Yes, you can use this in the game, Jawad. I mean, especially on the attacking side, this is a great move. I think this is same one from the side, so you can see the angle. Yes, Courtney, you can ask it. I'm gonna show this from the side.
Right here. So when you do that, your other heel opens up, your foot stays.
I'm showing it for righties.
And you heel it over the guy.
Do you see how I open my leg in here and then close it? To the side. Heel. And go.
Oh my God, Ozzy still has it, man.
I hate to say that, huh? Alright. That was a slow motion of that. Alright. If any questions about those, let me know. Let me see. No, that's why if you saw when I kicked the ball, you need to keep it close to your body. Yes, anybody can do this one, but I wouldn't do number 3 as much as the other ones. Number 3 is completely, you're doing like a show, really. Like, but if you can do it something like that once in a game, like once in a month, once in a year. It's a unique move. You're definitely gonna be confident, but I wouldn't try it every time. But like number 1 and 2, more useful for any position for sure. Especially forget about if you consider Iniesta as a behind move too. Iniesta is very useful as a behind move. And you're not losing the control. You just need to turn and run. And if you see that when I kick that ball up, I'm gonna go. It's not actually going so far up. Let's go to the first one. Look, we put cones up there to be able to catch it too. And I just need to run. Look at where it landed. So it needs to be landing before the cross ends. And you can make it work from there. These are very important too. The players behind defending, I'm showing you guys this. A lot of these players did this for hours, by the way. I'm not showing you all their stuff, but every drill that I'm showing here, these 3 players did it for hours. So
you're going to be in the same line with me. Okay? So we're going to be working on a couple things. You're going to pass the ball to me. Go ahead, pass the ball. A little bit harder this time, that's all. And he's going to be happy, right? I'm going one way like this and turning from the opposite side.
now, to be able to trick the player, you need to pay attention to where the body of the player is looking. Okay, watch the second one now.
The technique again. Use the ball. Ball is coming. My body's kind of going like this. So when I do this movement right here, you see that my body, when I do this, the defender is going to come with me. When I'm touching the ball the opposite side, so he's going to be looking, where's the ball? He's going to realize the ball is on there. You're going from the opposite side. The idea is giving a little backspin to a boulder. So the technique, slow motion this time. It's not going to happen, but you got to go like this. So body here, you got to go like this. But the idea is how much backspin can you get?
It's pretty tough to do it when it's slow.
Catch the ball too. So go ahead. Ball is coming like that.
Look at that. That's a good one. Little backspin to it. So
you see that backspin? So it's slowing down. Backspin can you get? So when you turn, you can catch the ball too. So go ahead. Ball is coming.
So look at my getting ready. I'm putting my foot down because I want it to land on my foot. And right here, I put my heel down too. And I'm going to be turning my foot towards the player when I'm going to go to the other side. Does that make sense? This is Zinedine Zidane move. We worked on Zidane move a couple weeks ago. I showed you guys one of the hardest to defend. Probably impossible to actually defend it. Like my coach used to say, this move is an undefendable move, right? Oh yeah, that last move, Gilberto, if you're asking about the last one, the flick behind, is pure for forwards and outside mids. Forwards and outside mids, and there's space behind the player. Ball is coming and defender is coming at you. They're trying to get to the ball first and you're flicking it to the opposite side. I do not recommend it for any of the defenders. I do not recommend it for center mids. That last one. This one though, this Zidane one, the undefendable Zidane move is definitely the best for any position.
You pull it far enough. Look. Give me another ball. Give me another ball. Two balls. Okay.
Now the first example I'm giving is a couple of weeks ago we talked about Zidane. He pulls the ball way away from the player and throws a V, right? And it's impossible to touch the ball and he gets the angle.
So when I'm pulling this, look.
How far I pulled it from, you see that?
I'm going to open this side.
He's not going to be able to get it.
Zero chance to get the ball. So Zidane's behind move, watch what he does.
So the player's behind me. Zidane figured out a way to do the same exact move when the player behind him. If you watch, especially 2002 World Cup and the 98 World Cup, he did this in the World Cup stage, the highest level. You can play, obviously, Champions League highest level as well.
He used to do this in World Cups, man. Come closer. So he's holding the player up, right?
Look at the body language. This is me, like I gained like 50 pounds, obviously. Trust me, I'm going to be losing that. But my right arm on the player, making sure I'm keeping the player away.
Steps his left foot forward.
He left foot forward. Steps his left foot forward. Turns his right shoulder towards his left and opens up space for himself.
Slow motion. So he's here, right? I'm gonna.
The left foot is gonna step forward this far from the ball. My right shoulder is gonna be turning towards the cone, and I'm gonna pull the ball away under my toe.
Step my left foot forward. Then when I step my left foot forward, I'm gonna grab the ball with one foot. Shove it away. Touch it. Yeah. One of the best behind moves in soccer.
Very good behind move for sure.
You pull it far enough. Look. Give me another
Go here.
We used to do this in World Cups, man. Come closer.
Watch again.
He's holding the player up, right?
This first one is a little short for my taste. I could have done it longer. I should have stepped a little bit longer. If you can see, my left foot didn't step as far. But the second one is ideal.
Slow motion. So he's here, right? I'm going to step my left foot forward. Then when I step my left foot forward, I'm going to grab the ball with one foot.
Step, pull away. Very good. All right. You understand? Any question about this one? Now, I'm going to be showing you guys a couple things. Visualizing what part of the field kind of thing, and giving examples of where we can use what. So I think this one.
Cover the play. I'm facing my own goal. Right? Yeah, that's my goal. Next. Go up there for a sec. And I really think you watch this from me. Look forward. You're giving pressure to me, right?
So now the pressure is coming. So where do we put this in the field? Ball goes behind. Suddenly he's running towards his own goal. Pressure is coming from the player. You fake the ball this way and then you touch the ball to open space here. That's going to give you enough space and time to see the next ball. This guy hopefully opens up and go from there. I mean, that guy shouldn't be the one actually opens up that way. This guy should be. And then you can actually pass the ball to open space. Visualize that in the field. Act it. Again right here, watch. He's coming, he's pressuring him. You see that? Like I'm making him go that way, see the ball, and touch the ball to the opposite side. Okay, so where else can you use that movement? When the ball is in front of you, where I was showing at the beginning, you can use it for center mids, right? So I want you guys to visualize this now. So we talked about something last week about midfield dribbling technique, right? Sometimes we need to make them go that way to the side, dribble to the side, and we wait. We wait for the other team to slide. We wait. They come back here. They become really compact here, and we wait. And so he goes maybe from here to all the way here. He dribbles, and the pressure is coming. Now could be a good place to do this one. Let's see.
Sure. You start the move.
Now I want you to visualize in the same situation in that field, so many players behind him. We saw that now it's time to make him think.
That way. So now he moves this way a little bit, right? You move this way a little bit. And then you come back and...
Now look at the space that I have on the other side. Let's go back to the field right here. If I act like I'm going to go that way, right, the player is going to come, but I'm going to cut the ball behind my foot this way. And now look at the space that we have. Hopefully you can even go here, and these guys can be here. That guy is open. Bomb, through ball to this guy, or this guy gets it. The player is coming. Bomb wide to this player. This guy gets in a goal side position, and pass comes to inside, and we score a goal. Do you understand where we can be using some of that mentality, right? Gilberto's question. So let's just say we're getting in a situation, everybody's up, and they are, oh, you're not that far back. Everybody's back. Everybody's back. They're attacking, and suddenly they lost the ball to us, right? They lost the ball to us, and this player is in a close contact with this player. The highway flick. So he's receiving the ball in here, and this could be even further back in a situation like this. Ball is coming to you on the ground. You flick it one way and turn around from the other side, and now you're one-on-one with the keeper. You can do that in that situation. So that's the move that we talked about. Let's see, where is it at?
I'm going
that one,
like this,
and you're one-on-one with the keeper, right? So
like this. So when I do this movement, my body's kind of going like this. So when
that's a good one right there. Do you see that, the movement? And you could be using that one-on-one with the defender, and then bomb, you're gone. An outside mid, same thing. So let's just say an outside back gets the ball, okay, and they really pushed up, and outside forward or outside mid is waiting for the ball. He's getting the ball. If he flicks it right here and turns around from there, he schools the guy and opens the game with a beautiful first touch move, and he's gone. Just kind of, I want you guys to visualize where you can be doing some of these movements, and I will be taking, oops, wrong one. I'll be taking some questions after that. Cruyff, this one.
I'm not going over the ball, I'm getting in front of the ball. So push it.
If I'm behind, I push it this way. So where do you use this one? Anywhere in the field is good, but ideally, let's go with going back to this. I'm gonna board change. Okay. Let's just do like this. Okay. Everybody out. All right. In a situation that you're dealing with the ball, okay, the ball right here, let's just say a through ball came, and defender gets on you because he doesn't want you to see the shot, right? You either push the ball that way, okay, and the defender is going to be, oh crap, he's going to have a shot, and then suddenly touch it to the other side. Now you have an open space to take the shot. Hopefully you can score back in the net, right? So the idea is, the ideal placement is here, but you can use it anywhere. So let's just say another position, you're an outside mid, and this guy came in, and you decided to hold the ball away from him, and he's pressuring you high, and you see another defender coming in. So if you see another defender coming in, act like you're going to push it towards him, so that this defender comes closer to, and then cut it to the other side. Now you have a cross. So you can really use it anywhere, but ideally that move, I call it Drogba, or dodgy is Cruyff. You can do it like that, so it will be very useful for you guys to do. I am now open to get some questions from you guys. Any of the movement, any of the passing, any tactical questions too. But these are good stuff. Like, I actually used to teach this to people like Jalen that is playing for professionally. You guys had an interview last week with him. I trained also like some of the players that actually went to play in Europe to play professional soccer, and I trained them the same way. Some of my players plays for the academy teams, Soundless Academy. This is the real academy on that, because there's a lot of clubs that now just put a DA at the end of their club name and pay some money to DA program to call themselves DA. But I am more into like the real deal, like Soundless Academy, and I would have respect for the Crossfire Academy as well. So those guys, you know, you need to understand that to be able to play at that level, you need to be able to come up with this kind of tricks as well in different situations. So you need to improve your technique. You need to definitely come up with new things. I'm going to be showing you guys more and more moves. I have the most moves I can teach. Me and Eugene was the top trainers in the state, Eugene Pablon. But I can bet money I can teach more than him. I have 176 moves I can teach. Front and back, like when the player behind you or front of you. So there's a lot of moves you guys can learn. So ask questions about anything about tonight. But that first drill about passing, you know, switching feet, as simple as that looks. And Javad, if you remember one of the first times you asked me about how to work on that first touch, that's the drill that I was telling you about. So it looks easy, but it's not, because your first touch needs to be long enough. You can't do a second touch. So you need to be able to touch that ball long enough, because you want to have a second touch. Long enough away from the pressure to be able to, otherwise if you do a second touch, it's not going to work, right? You touched it long enough. You need to beat the middle. You need to beat the middle. You need to beat the middle. Okay? Touch, good touch. You see that? You need to beat the middle. What a that beautiful touch, Rafa. I'm really proud of you. I remember Rafa was pretty much toe kicking the ball when I first saw him. He was a technical player, but his technique for passing was not great, and he definitely came a long way with that. Outstanding first touch passes, especially the one that I think right here, really hard pass, and he kept his heel on the ground. You see that? I always tell players, just keep your heel on the ground. You're going to be so consistent. Ball's bouncing there. Hector didn't give him a good pass there, but because he kept his toe up and over the ball, look at that. Beautiful. Any questions, guys? I hope you guys are writing it down right now, and then I will be able to answer it either on the tactical board or in the video. Ask questions about anything, but hopefully related to some of these videos. And why is it important? Some of the players ask me, hey, I'm a defender, I'm never going to do these moves. Well, like Jalen said, him knowing these moves help him as a defender, because he knows what they're going to do. Okay, he can read the player. I'm going to tell you a story about that. Alan Shearer, one of the English legends, one of the best players in the world history, and he was a keeper, goalkeeper. And Newcastle sold him because he wasn't the top level goalkeeper. He was one of the third or fourth keepers. And in his new club, he would start like training a little bit, and they had some injuries with the forwards. And in practice, they tried. He volunteered to play forward, because obviously keepers can shoot, right? Because that's all they do in training. They shoot at each other, and they were really impressed. Obviously played a little bit as a young kid too. They were pretty impressed, and they gave him a chance to play forward. And a couple years later, he was the top goal scorer in Premier League. and Newcastle end up buying the record-breaking fee for a guy who they sent as a keeper, and they end up buying him back as a forward to challenge for the EPL. It's an interesting story, but one of the things about that story is the fact that a goalkeeper becomes one of the best strikers in history. Okay, so it's important to learn other jobs, and you never know what's gonna come to you. Like I'm gonna give you an example. Kyle Kosanovic, all his career for Gala, he was a defender, and we sometimes tried him as a forward, but he wasn't that great first. But last year we tried him, and now his skill level went up. He learned the moves and this and that, and then he was one of our best forwards. It was insane how good he was as a forward. Like, he was a much better forward than he was a defender. So you never know. You gotta be a total soccer player. You gotta learn it all. Any questions, guys? Joe, somebody already asked that question, but I'll tell you again, about 4 yards. I hope that somebody asks a question. Like, you can't. It's not about us, guys. I'm doing this for you guys. I'm here for you. I'm going out to the field, making videos for you so you can get better and learn. I'm here for you. It's 24/7. You can message me about anything. All right. I guess nothing, huh? All right, guys. Thanks for tonight's session. I really would like captains and coaches to talk to your players about asking questions. This is great chances for you all. And I'm also disappointed. Captains, why don't you ask questions, guys? Take the first step, and rest of the players will follow you. That's how it works. Thanks for tonight's session, guys. We have some things to learn. We got some things to follow through. But I know that we're going to do really well in the future once we step in the field. But please watch this session again. Thank you, guys.